Are you interested in hearing about Lingoda and how you can learn an online language? Have you heard an honest review from an actual teacher that uses the Lingoda platform? Well, that's me. So here are my thoughts about Lingoda and what it's like to work for Lingoda as a freelance teacher. If you find my videos helpful in any way at all, please help me out by liking, commenting, sharing, and most importantly, subscribing to my channel. Hit that bell to be notified when I post new content online. My goal is to share my love of the English language with as many people as possible this year. And any love that you can give me to help my channel grow will help me be able to continue to help more people. If we haven't met, hello, I'm Kristin, and I've been freelancing with Lingoda for about 1.5 years now, since fall of 2018. They also offer classes in German, French, and Spanish, but I am an English teacher. I've been an English teacher for more than 25 years, and teaching English as a second language for more than 10 years. Now, I absolutely 100% prefer working with adults. They face specific challenges in learning a language that children do not have, and they are the ones I prefer to work with. Adults can pick and choose who they want to learn with online. Children are usually given a teacher, so adults can choose their online platform or their teacher. And if you are thinking of taking classes with Lingoda, then I'm going to share my honest opinions. First of all, this is not a sponsored video. Even though I teach for Lingoda, nobody knows I'm creating this video. At least not yet. If this ever changes, I will record a new updated video. And if you wish to sponsor me, Lingoda, just let me know. Now, most people start with the positives first, but I'm going to do this in reverse. Here are a few of the negatives that I have experienced as a teacher on the Lingoda platform. First, let's get right to the elephant in the room. Let's start with money. Lingoda teachers are paid once a month, usually about the 4th to the 7th day after the next month, meaning I recently just finished classes in February, and the pay will come in anywhere from usually March 4th to March 7th. Now, only being paid once a month can be hard to get used to for some teachers, especially if you're American. We are used to being paid weekly or bi-monthly. I know Europeans and many Asian countries pay salaries monthly, and they are used to that, but it's not so common here in the United States. Let me know how often you get paid. The pay is also not very high, especially considering that teachers are expected to have teaching experience, which usually means an expensive education. But considering some of the positives I'll talk about soon, the pay is still above the minimum wage in my state. You do not have assigned class times at Lingoda. Lingoda has a scheduling calendar where students book classes according to their wants and needs, and then they show up on a calendar. It is a first come, first served kind of system. You choose according to your availability, but sometimes there are just not enough classes to choose. You can go in there and look at the calendar and it's empty, and you may have to keep coming back into the system to look for classes. So it is first come, first served. If you see a class you like, you click on it. And Lingoda runs promotions called the Sprint and the Marathon, which means that during those times, there are usually plenty of classes to pick. But it can be pretty quiet between those spans. The Sprint and Marathon run for a few months, but they'll wait and then they'll start another one. And during that downtime, there aren't many classes at all. Please tell me in the comments if you'd like more information about the marathon and the sprint and I can make an extra video for that. Some of the material offered on Lingoda can be rather boring or difficult to teach online. If the class meets your schedule and you want to teach those hours, then you may have to teach something you don't really like. This is a personal opinion for most teachers, and it's different from teacher to teacher. But remember, you have the option to not choose that class, but no class means no money. Also, some of the presentations are much too short and others are way too long. You get to know which ones may need to be supplemented with some additional materials or some extra conversation time, or some classes that you just absolutely will not be able to get through in the 1 hour time span. You just will not be able to finish it. Now, on to the students. Unless you decide to teach a private class, which has only one student, group classes can range from 1 to 5 students. There's also no bonus in pay for teaching a private class. It's just a preference for many teachers. Classes with 5 students can be pretty hectic sometimes, especially if a few of them are needing a little more assistance from the teacher. It's up to the teacher to encourage these more quiet students to speak more and to keep the chatty students under control so that they don't run away with the entire class because they want to constantly speak. You must do your best to be as fair as possible because every student is paying for this class. As a teacher, you are obligated to turn on your camera so that students can see you clearly. But students do not need to turn their camera on. Classes are now taught on Zoom, and it can be difficult to teach class to a bunch of black boxes with names in it. I have had classes of 5 students and not a single one has their camera on. And sometimes it can be a little bit of a downer. Like, who am I talking to? I can't connect to them. I can't see their reactions. I can't see their facial expressions, their body language. And in learning a language, especially at the lower levels, I need to see those visual cues as a teacher to help me understand that the student is getting the material, they're understanding it, or I can even see if they have a question on their face. Also, with no cameras on, many interruptions happen. You can't see when someone's about to speak, so another student may start to speak, the teacher may start to speak, and then the student speaks, so then I want to stop because I want them to speak as much as possible. So interruptions can be common when the cameras are turned off. I just find it very difficult to teach to a bunch of black boxes with just names, black box and a name and white through the middle. That's it. The only time I recommend someone keeping their camera turned off is if they're in a place with spotty internet service. Turning off the camera usually gives them enough power to just use the audio so that they can at least participate in the class. Have you ever taught for an online teaching platform? Let me know. I'd love to know which ones you've taught for, or if you are a language learner, have you taken classes online? What are your thoughts or experiences? Which ones were your favorite? Okay, now let's turn to some of the positives for working as an English teacher for Lingoda. And these are much more plentiful and meaningful to me. I've always been paid on time, and my pay is directly sent through PayPal, anywhere from the 1st of the month to the latest one time was the 8th of the month. Almost 2 years, and I've never been paid late. And this past month in March, I actually received it on March 1st. I received February's pay on February 1st, so it has been fast. That's definitely a positive in the online teaching world. They are a dependable company when it comes to your paycheck. That's important. Now, let's move on. The flexibility of the scheduling is amazing for teachers who are looking for that. If you want or need that flexibility in your life, then Lingoda could work very well for you. It certainly does for me. If you have doctor's appointments, other projects, children, adults, pets, another job, anything, or you just need a free day or two, then you are not obligated to sign up for a specific number of classes each month. It's up to you how often you work. I have had months with 15 classes in 1 month, and I've had others with more than 100 classes. You may need to keep checking the schedule to see if more classes have been made available, but you take the class with a click of your mouse, and they are added to your calendar immediately. You need to set your time zone according to where you live at the time you're going to be teaching the classes, and the classes will be automatically shown in that time zone, regardless of what time the student is taking that class or where that student lives. There's no trying to figure out the differences between countries, which is very convenient. I've dealt with this issue a lot as an online ESL teacher. So if time zones confuse you when working with people around the world online, check out this video I made about better understanding the time differences around the world. Now, let's talk about the lessons. The teaching materials are already prepared and loaded into the system for you. You do not need to do any other extra work to be ready to teach this class, besides probably at least reading through the material at the most basic level. You are also able to add extra materials to the class if you want to. I have taught several classes about travel, and we spend time looking at maps online or looking at pictures of amazing places. I've also taught classes about different styles of music, and I play the music in the background, or we share some videos to listen to it, to listen to the words, the music, and get a better feeling for what it's all about. And quite recently, Lingoda has started the process of updating their materials to better reflect today's world. And it includes much more talking time for the students. I wasn't sure when I first saw the new materials because I thought the lessons were too short. Some of them were only 6, 7, 8 pages long. But the new lessons encourage communication and practical usage of the language amongst the students. I've changed my mind, and I really like those new classes so far. The absolute best part of teaching for Lingoda is, of course, my students. During these new times, when everybody is staying home a lot more, seeing a new face or teaching familiar faces adds joy to my days. I get to see new people every day, and I teach them, and I absolutely love learning from them, learning about what they do, hearing about their lives, their careers, and their reasons for taking classes on Lingoda. My students have been some of the most intelligent, experienced, and adventurous people I have ever met. I teach English, and many of them are learning English to improve their opportunities for career advancement or education in another country. And if you are one of my Lingoda students, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear something from you, and I want you to know that I learn something new from you each and every time I teach a class. And if anyone has any questions about Lingoda that I didn't cover in this video, there's probably a lot, please ask me in the comments and I'll be happy to answer you. Do you want more English practice? If you wish to join a group of like-minded students wanting to improve their English, then please check out my exclusive Facebook group. I share posts, do videos, and offer group chats at least once a month. We'd love to have you, and the link is in the description box below. Learning English online is a convenient way to improve your language skills, and Lingoda is one way to reach those goals. Check out this video for more details about getting a teaching visa, or this one, to learn some idioms to help you sound more natural. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you next week. Never stop learning.